Okay, good morning, everybody. My name is Chris Hupple. I'm Vice Chair for the Board of Public Safety Standards and Training, and I'll be chairing today's meeting. I'd like to go ahead and open up the board. Board meeting for the Public Safety Standards and Training held today at it's 9:09 on July 24th here at DPSSD Boardroom on Almsville Highway. With that, let's go ahead and take care of an administrative announcement. This is a public meeting, subject to the public meeting law, and it will be recorded. Deliberation of the issues will only be conducted by board members unless permitted by the chair. Individuals who engage in disruptive behavior that impede official business will be asked to stop being disruptive or leave the meeting. Additional measures may be taken to have disruptive individuals removed if their continued presence poses a safety risk to the other persons in the room or makes it impossible to continue the meeting. With that, we'll go ahead and start with introductions. We'll facilitate that through a conduction of a roll call of board members and followed by introduction of staff. Juan?
When I call on you, please state your name and who you represent for the record. We'll start with you, Vice Chair Hupple.
Chris Hupple, representing Oregon State Fire Chiefs Association.
Member Bennett.
Martha Bennett, representing the League of Oregon Cities.
Member Cameron.
Jennifer Cameron, representing.
Member Carriger.
Jack Carriger, representing the Oregon Firefighters.
Mark Daniel, representing the Oregon Association of Chiefs of Police.
Member Fletcher.
Mike Fletcher, representing Oregon Apconina, the 911 Ministry of Oregon.
And then online we have Member Jones. Member Jones, can you hear us?
Yes, Maury Jones, public member.
Member Lenson.
Dan Lenson, representing private security.
Member Morneau.
Joe Morneau, representing OFDDA.
Member Downing.
Scotty Downing, non-management law enforcement.
Member Reese.
Mike Reese, Department of Justice.
Member Reese Temple.
Mariana Reese Temple, Oregon State Fire Marshal.
And Member Young.
Mo Young, I'm a community member.
Thank you. And now for staff introductions, I'll go first. Juan Lopez, Executive Assistant, DPSST.
Shelby Wright, Executive Assistant, DPSSD.
Kathy Fink, DPSSD. Susie Herring, DPSSD. Jennifer Howell, DPSSD.
Sam Tenney, DPSST.
Marie Atwood, DPSSD.
Phil Castle, DPSST.
And
Is that on Statesman Journal? Statesman Journal.
Mayor Casher.
thank you. Back to you, Vice Chair Hupple.
Thank you, Juan. Thanks everybody for being here today. We do have a quorum. We'll move on to meeting minutes. They were provided in your package. I hope you had the opportunity to review them. With that, I'd like to call for a vote for approval of the meeting minutes.
Mark Daniel, for the record, move to approve.
Mike Fletcher, for the record, I will second.
All right, we're voting on a motion to approve the April 24th, 2025 meeting minutes. Vice Chair Hupple.
Aye.
Member Bennett.
Aye.
Member Cameron.
Aye.
Member Carriger. Member Daniel. Member Fletcher.
Aye.
Member Jones.
Aye.
Member Lenzen.
Aye.
Member Downing.
Aye.
Member Morneau.
Aye.
Member Reese.
Aye.
Member Reese Temple.
Aye. Aye.
And Member Young.
I'm going to abstain. I had jury duty.
Perfect. Motion carried.
Thank you. Moving on to Fire Policy Committee. Any updates? I'd share that. We did not meet at our last meeting. We just didn't have enough topics. We'll be meeting again at the end of August. With that, our criminal justice policy committees. First, we'll start with an update from the Police Policy Committee. Chair Downing?
Thank you, Vice Chair Hupple. Scotty Downing, representing the Police Policy Committee. We met on May 22nd, 2025. We reviewed a total of 13 cases. 8 were on the consent agenda. The committee heard and deliberated about 5 cases. We took action on 4 of the 5 cases and no action on 1.
Thank you. Next, we'll move on to the Telecommunications Policy Committee update. Fletcher? Chair Fletcher?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The telecom Committee met last on May 7th. During that meeting, the committee reviewed one administrative closure. The committee also reviewed and approved changes to the Telecommunications Curriculum Advisory Committee. The committee moved Griffin from to serve on the Applicant Review Committee, and we will meet again on August 6th.
Any questions? Should ask questions for Danny. Anyone there? Okay, thank you for the update.
Thank you.
Next is D, which is our consent agenda. If you refer to your staff reports, which were provided for you for review, hopefully that's been completed. Are there any? Did I miss one? I certainly did. I checked you out the list. Let me back up to the Corrections Policy Committee update. Chair Cameron. My apologies.
Jennifer Cameron, representing CPC. So we met on May 13th. We reviewed 8 cases. One was an admin closure. We returned 2 of them for review. 5 we're taking action on them being in our packets today. Matt English is no longer the chair, so we'll be voting for a new chair at our next meeting, which is August 12th.
Any questions for the Corrections Policy? Hearing none, move down again to D, our consent agenda. Again, I'll reference back to your staff reports, which were provided for your review prior to. Are there any questions before I call for a vote on the consent agenda? Hearing none, Juan, if you could call for the vote on the consent agenda.
Oh, it has to be moved first.
Oh, Martha
Oh,
Bennett,
sorry.
move adoption of the consent
Glad you
agenda.
guys are here.
Scotty Downing will second that.
With that, Juan, please.
We're voting on a motion to approve the Criminal Justice Policy Committee's consent agenda, items A through I. Vice Chair Huffle.
Aye.
Member Bennett.
Aye.
Member Cameron.
Aye.
Member Carriger.
Aye.
Member Daniel.
Aye.
Member Fletcher.
Aye.
Member Jones.
Aye.
Member Lenza.
Aye.
Member Morneau.
Aye.
Aye.
Member Reese.
Aye.
Member Reese Temple.
Aye.
And Member Young.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Thank you. Next item jumps down to I, which is a committee appointments. There are 3 committee appointments to the Telecommunications Policy Committee.
And that is part of the
Is that
consent.
part of the consent? Great, thank you very much, appreciate it. Next, move down to number 5, then the Private Security Investigator Policy Committee.
Thank you, Vice Chair. Our last meeting was canceled due to lack of agenda items, so I don't have anything to report that from that meeting. Our next regularly scheduled meeting is August 19th, and we have a couple civil penalties to review, as well as updates to the rules with the passage of Senate Bill 300, which changed the definition of private security entity, which you have today. You all see that information in the in all of this that we've got provided on the table. The department is asking for the approval of the 3 work groups, and that's described in your consent agenda. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Just want to confirm that with this consent agenda, both the appointments and the work groups are under one vote, or do we need to do this 2 separate votes?
It's under one vote.
It's under one vote, great, thank you. If there are no questions, I'll be looking for nominations to move to a vote.
Mark Daniel for the record, motion to approve.
Jack Carrier, second.
Juan, if you could please do the vote.
Perfect. We're voting on a motion to approve the PSIPC consent agenda, items A and B. Vice Chair Huffle.
Aye.
Member Bennett.
Aye.
Member Cameron.
Aye.
Member Carriger.
Aye.
Member Daniel.
Aye.
Member Fletcher.
Aye.
Member Jones.
Aye.
Member Lenzen.
Aye.
Member Morneau.
Aye.
Member Young.
Aye.
Member Reese.
Aye.
Member Ruiz Temple.
Aye.
And Member Young.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Thank you. Moving on to number 6 on our agenda, legislative update.
for the record, Chair Huckle, members of the board. For this agenda item, I wanted to provide you with an overview of the policy bills from the 2025 legislative session that have a direct impact on DPSST programs and operations. First, touching on the agency requested bills. With the board's approval, DPSST requested 2 legislative concepts for the 2025 session. The first was House Bill 2916 relating to membership on the Fire Policy Committee. This bill passed and provided a technical fix to the language that described the committee member position representing fire instructors. We requested the change because the old language referred to a statewide fire instructor association, which no longer exists. Now the fire instructor representative may be recommended by a fire training association. The second bill was House Bill 2926, which DPSST requested to close a gap in the public safety officer professional standards case processes. Under current authorities, DPSST must defer review of cases when the public safety professional is no longer employed and was not certified at the time of the separation of employment. These deferred cases have become a hurdle for applicants and for hiring agencies. Through this bill, DPSST was requesting a legislative change that would allow the agency to complete its review and the professional standards case process, regardless of the separation of employment. The bill did not pass during the session, and DPSST will have to continue to defer these cases until the person has been rehired. However, I did want to be sure to share that the bill was positively received in the House and Senate Judiciary Committees. It received unanimous votes in committee. It was referred to Ways and Means, where there just wasn't enough time to process the bill during the end of the very busy legislative session. Next, I wanted to highlight a handful of policy bills that came through from legislators. Senate Bill 300 changed the definition of a private security entity. The definition is used to determine who is required to have the private security entity license. Under the enabling legislation, any person who employed private security providers needed to be licensed. Under Senate Bill 300, only entities that provide private security services to others need to be licensed, and this is often referred to as contract private security services. DPSST will present recommended proposed rule changes to the Private Security and Investigator Policy Committee in August. The rule changes will update our definitions and administrative rule to match the new definition that's in law, and the proposed rule changes will go through the public comment process and then come to the board in October for final approval. House Bill 2183 is another private security related bill. Under the previous agenda item, the board approved formation of a work group for the implementation of this bill. This bill directs DPSST to adopt rules that establish a procedure for recognizing prior law enforcement experience toward the training requirements that are necessary to obtain certification as a private security professional. The rules must identify eligibility requirements for the applicants, which training courses can have those substitution for experience, and then any requirements for demonstrating knowledge or necessary skills. The work group recommendations would be presented to the Private Security and Investigator Policy Committee and then to the board for final approval as soon as practicable. So sometime between now and hopefully we'll be able to complete it within an initial 6-month period because the bill becomes effective January 1st. Let's see. House Bill 2551 directs public universities to ensure that the university has requested background information from DPSST and reviewed the background information before they're commissioning a special campus security officer. This bill came about because employees of public universities are considered state employees, and as state employees are exempt from the licensure requirement for private security professionals. DPSST already administers a regulatory records check for our criminal justice public safety officers, and we would be modeling the same process. The university would contact us, let us know their applicants' information. We would search our databases of information for complaints and professional standards cases, and then provide any records that we have. Let's see. House Bill 3569 affects the rulemaking process. You're very familiar with DPSST's practice of forming work groups to review standards and update recommendations and rule changes and curriculums and that type of thing. Work groups essentially perform the function of a rulemaking advisory committee. And moving forward, when a rulemaking advisory committee is formed to implement new legislation, the agency must invite the chief bill sponsor or the committee chair to participate in that advisory committee. Let's see. I wanted to give you a little overview of some of the agency's processes following a legislative session. After each legislative session, the Center for Policing Excellence and the DPSST Training Division staff review legislative changes to the criminal laws and motor vehicle code to identify any revisions that needs to be made to the basic curriculums. The curriculums are updated accordingly, and these are considered minor revisions that do not have any impact on the board-approved course subject hour breakdown. And I'm pleased to report that there were no bills that created or changed any of the basic training requirements or the maintenance training requirements for public safety professionals. Finally, a note that there are always bills that impact human resources, procurement, and other business operations. As a state agency, DPSST will update its internal policies and practices in accordance with the direction that we received from the Department of Administrative Services. And there weren't any bills on the operational level that have a fiscal impact for the agency. And then there was just a brief touch base on the outcome for the agency's budget for the session. Just to let you know that House Bill 5032 was the agency's budget bill. And that provided a base budget of $98 million total funds and 184 positions. It was a 1.7% increase over current service level. It included the carryover of the funds that we're using for the structural repairs to the Training Village building. And 64 million of that is funded from the criminal fines account. The DPSST fee increases for the private security providers, the private security entities, and the private investigators, that bill passed and was approved, so all of those fee increases remain in effect. And then there were the end of session budget bills that the legislature passes, and those provided DPSST with $3.9 million for a learning management system and $3.7 million for deferred maintenance of facility repairs. So a really good outcome for our agency. And then myself and staff are available to answer any questions you might have from the legislative session. All right.
Questions
Thank you,
online? Great. Thank you, Jennifer.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Moving on, number 7 on our agenda, agency updates. Director Castle. All right.
Vice Chair Phil Castle for the record. I'm Director of DPSST. Thanks for the opportunity to be here in front of you today to give you this update. First and foremost, I want to thank you for your time. I always appreciate, and I know every single person at this table is, and online, is extremely busy, and you have a lot of responsibilities on your own. So the work that you do here is critically important for the state, for public safety, and I just want to thank you for being here. I also want to make sure that I thank the staff, because there's a lot of work that goes into this to prepare for this board, so I really appreciate the staff for all the work and the professionalism that's displayed here. And speaking of staff, their new leader is sitting next to me. Marie Atwood is the new Director of Professional Standards, and this is her first official day of being at the reins at the board, so congratulations, Marie, and thanks for being here as well. Lots of stuff going on the campus, and also thank you to, where did she go? Jennifer. Thank you to Jennifer. We would not make it through session without her. She is absolutely amazing and keeps us on top of session all the time. So appreciate that. We've had a lot of things going on the campus lately. We had a very successful fire memorial, which went off really great. Good attendance, really proud of that. We had a behavioral health symposium that went down that was joint public safety venture. We had fire there, we had private security, we had Basic parole and probation was there. We had police was represented. Everybody was represented at this symposium. We're going to do this annually now. We had a defensible space demonstration, which was absolutely amazing. We had 2 mini homes built down in our village. One was set up appropriately to have the appropriate defensible space for fire, and the other was not. And we got a chance to see how quickly the one that's not set up goes up in flames in a situation where there is a fire close by. So that was an interesting demonstration that really I learned a lot from, and it was very, very, very well attended. We also had our first ever Youth Academy, which is DPSST's foray into connecting with our youth and getting youth interested in public safety careers. And then we had about 42 students signed up. Got some great feedback on that, lots of participation, and a special thank you to Sheriff Hunter for participation and partnership in that. Really appreciate that, Sheriff Hunter. Thank you for being here for that. And we're looking to do that again next year as well, and we'll do it bigger this time. We'll do a full day. We did a half day this time. We're going to do a full day this time. We'll be looking to bring more students in and have more activities. So really successful event and a great start. We just got our quarterly forecast from our data team, if you will. They hate when I call them data, but they're so good at it. They're part of our Center for Policing Excellence, and their forecasts are generally really close to being spot on accurate. Our forecasts are no surprise. We're looking to stay right where we're at in terms of law enforcement training needs. We are not projected to need to run another 60-person class, but we are prepared to run a 60-person class if we need to. And we are staying well within statute. We're enrolling right now for basic police at about 30 days, and sometimes under that.
That's great.
So our statute, by the way, says they have to be enrolled and in class before 90 days, and we're well within that. So that's really good news for us. We hired a new dean of students. Jared Rayburn is his name. He's coming internally, has a lot of experience in almost every venue on this academy. He is also a former state trooper from New York, and he's been enrolled now for almost a month, and he's doing great. So we're glad to have him on board as well. That position has been vacant for a little while. I just recently started to participate in the International Association of Law Enforcement Standards and Training organization. It's called IATLS. It's a really long acronym, and I might have messed that up a little bit. I went to my first conference in North Carolina when it was excellent to connect with my contemporaries. These folks run either a post or an academy, and there is a distinction in most states between the post and the academy. Here they are combined. The post, the quick explanation, the post is the regulatory side of our organization. So for example, would be Marie's unit mixed with our Center for Policing Excellence that kind of govern our curriculum. So that would be the post side. The academy side is the actual training part of the organization. So we are fortunate to be combined as one. A lot of states have those organizations separate. And oftentimes have multiple academies in those states. So to learn from my contemporaries has been really great, and to start that connection. And because that was my first meeting attended, my penance to pay was they elected me as the Western Regional Director for covering 12 different states. So we will have a Western Regional meeting here in October. So looking forward to that, and looking forward to various, and learning from them and them learning for us, and I think that'll bring value to us. Accordingly as well, we're always looking to see how we can evaluate ourselves. We are a pretty unique organization, but we have a lot of great staff, a lot of, we biased, with some amount of bias, think our curriculum is great. but we need to evaluate ourselves constantly and make sure that we're doing what we think we're doing. IATList has an accreditation process, which we are going to invite. And we are going to invite an accreditation on both our post side and our academy side and really find out how well we're doing. So that is coming soon. We've already started to work with IATList on preparing to do that, so I'm looking forward to reporting back the results of our accreditation. It'll probably take about 6 months to do that. And I want to, before I turn it over to Marie, I want to make sure I allow for questions. If anybody has questions of me, I'm happy to answer those. Hearing none, I will turn it over to Marie.
Thank you, Phil. Marie Atwood for the record. The first order of business I would like to do is just say hello to everyone. Some of you I have seen and met on policy committees that I've attended so far, but those of you who I haven't, hello, and to the group online. I am really excited to be in this role. I came to DPSST from the Washington County District Attorney's Office, where I worked for about 11 years. So I have tremendous amount of respect for public safety professionals. I've worked with them my entire career, and I'm really excited to get to know and work with all of them. I do, at the end of this meeting, have to jump to the Memorial Fund Board meeting, but I brought with me a big stack of contact cards. So anyone who I have not connected with already, please take one of these with you before you go, and feel free to reach out to me at any time for whatever you need. Only updates I have, a couple minor things, another staffing addition to the professional standards team. So we have a new criminal justice certification program manager. So we were very sad to see Kathy leave that role, but we are very excited to have our new incoming manager. His name is Ben Hamilton. He's not here this morning, but you will see him and get to know him. And he will be leading the group that does all of the kind of legwork to get us prepared for our policy committee meeting and for the board meeting. So really excited to have Ben join the team. And the last thing that I wanted to note is that for our professional standards team, we are embarking down a pathway of starting a new case management system software. So we have already in use for a while now a system run by Acadis, and they also have case management software that we think our team can utilize to make a lot of our processes not only easier, more efficient, and kind of streamlined, but more accessible to our constituents and to the public. So we're very much in the exploratory phases right now with how this case management program can work for us, but it's looking really promising. That said, it could change a lot about how our unit does business, including how, for example, a member of the public files a complaint online, or how constituents and law enforcement professionals can access their own records in a lot more of a unified, consistent, user-friendly way. So when we have more information about that and when we get closer to official launch of that program, I will keep you posted. But otherwise, those are all the updates I have. Nice to meet you all.
Any questions for the new director? Okay, hearing none. That completes the agenda for this meeting. The next meeting for DPSST is going to be October 23rd at 9 o'clock here at DPSST. With that, I'll close the Board of Public Safety Standards and Training meeting for July 24th, 2025 at 9:37.
Thank you.
Good job.